In a Florida courtroom, a surprise move today from a man who's been at the center of the news of late. George Zimmerman took the stand in the killing of Trayvon Martin and took a chance speaking directly to Martin's parents at this hearing today about the night he shot their son. The judge agreed to let Zimmerman out on bail while he awaits trial on a charge of second-degree murder, and he could be free in several days. We get the latest tonight from NBC's Kerry Sanders.
George Zimmerman, hands shackled, entered the courtroom, and for the first time, he and Trayvon Martin's parents saw each other face to face. The 28-year-old who fired a single shot that killed 17-year-old Trayvon Martin took the stand to apologize.
I wanted to say I am sorry for the loss of your son. I did not know how old he was. I thought he was a little bit younger than I am, and I did not know if he was armed or not.
By putting him on the stand, Zimmerman's lawyers opened him up to limited questions from the prosecutor.
Why did you wait so long to tell Mr. Martin and the victim's mother, the father and mother, why did you wait so long to tell them?
I was told not to communicate with them.
Okay, so even through your attorney, you didn't ask to do it right away? Your former attorneys or anything?
I did ask them to express that to them.
The defense challenged the state's lead investigator, who co-authored the probable cause affidavit. It reads in part, Zimmerman confronted Martin and a struggle ensued.
Do you have any evidence that supports who may have started the fight?
No.
What did he tell the officers?
That he was the victim in this, and that it was Martin that confronted him and assaulted him.
The affidavit also says Zimmerman profiled the black teenager.
Why'd you use the word profiling rather than noticed, observed, saw, or anything besides the very precise word profiled? And by the way, was that your word? Did you come up with that word?
I don't recall.
But investigator Gilbreth said what Zimmerman told police the night of the shooting doesn't add up.
Wouldn't you agree that a lot of his statement can be contradicted by the evidence, either witnesses or just based on what he says himself?
Yes.
Before granting Zimmerman a $150,000 bond,
Zimmerman, please.
Judge Kenneth Lester listened as Zimmerman's father testified via speakerphone.
His face was swollen.
About a photo taken by a neighbor and broadcast today on ABC. He said it proves his son was beaten by Trayvon Martin and confirms what he saw the day after the shooting.
He had a protective cover over his nose. His lip was swollen and cut, and there were two vertical gashes on the back of his head.
By law, Trayvon Martin's parents were not allowed to speak in court today. Their attorneys call Zimmerman's apology self-serving.
When he made all those statements to the police, why not show remorse there if he was sincerely apologetic for killing this unarmed child?
Among the conditions of his release, Zimmerman has to wear an ankle monitor that can be tracked via GPS, even if he leaves the state. Brian?
Kerry Sanders, heavy rainfall this afternoon in Florida. Kerry, thanks. Our chief legal correspondent, Savannah Guthrie, is here with us tonight in the studio. Savannah, I watched today as a civilian, and I was surprised. You watch as a lawyer. Do you think they took a risk in doing this today?
No question. I was surprised, too. It's very unorthodox to call a defendant to the stand to testify like this at this stage of the hearing, and it could backfire. I mean, here you have George Zimmerman apologizing to the parents, but remember, his story is that Trayvon Martin beat him so badly that he feared for his very life. So why is he apologizing? He also said, I didn't know he was young. I didn't know he was unarmed. That's almost a tacit acknowledgement that he was mistaken about the facts of the case. So those statements may backfire at a future trial. On the other hand, it appears that Zimmerman and his defense lawyer are speaking to a wider audience, not just Trayvon Martin's parents, but potentially the jurors who could be out there watching and wanting to see some remorse from this defendant.
Either way, it felt like some moment today. Savannah Guthrie, as always, thank you.